What's going on, everyone? Have you started to make your budget for 2022? This is a big question we've been getting inside the Academy. And today I kind of wanted to go over that and just kind of continue our talk about planning your 2022 season. So if you haven't grabbed our free download, I'll put the link up here in the window so you guys can grab that. Oops, sorry, I bumped my camera earlier. But so you can grab your free download, and this will help you guide you to think about what went on last year in your landscape business, what went great, what didn't go so great, and it's going to help you continue to plan for 2022. And it's so important to kind of plan where we're going to go. And by using this free download, it'll help you get you started. Now, one of the planning processes we recommend doing is actually creating an overhead budget. And I know many people kind of get scared, like, I don't need to do that. I don't have time to do that. It's too complicated. Well, today I kind of want to show you how simple it is to actually create an overhead budget. Now, inside our Million Dollar Academy, we have it all kind of laid out for you. So you can basically just go in and download it. Let me share my screen with you to show you how simple that is. So when you go into the Academy, which inside the Million Dollar Academy, we teach a couple different estimating systems to help recover your overhead, because that's one of the things we had huge issue in our business. And this is something we see a lot of times in landscape businesses. They, are charging just by either taking the material, multiplying by 2 or 3, and then basically just kind of crossing their fingers and hoping that they are covering all their costs. Well, if you're not recovering all your overhead, you're probably losing out. Especially what we see is a lot of landscape businesses, they go through, they look like they're making money, but at the end of the year, they don't really have money in the bank. And a lot of times it's because they're not recovering all their overhead. They're not charging enough to cover all that overhead. And that's when they find out, is at the end of the year. So when you log into the Academy, you can select one of these budgets depending on the types of estimating systems you do. I have it already downloaded, so let me pull that up here. So this one's just using the single overhead recovery estimating system. So when you download this, we can walk, like in the Academy, we walk you through the step-by-step on how to go through this. But I kind of want to show you a basic layout of an overhead budget and show you how simple it is once you actually have one laid out. So basically what you're going to do is you're kind of set your sales goal for the year. So let's just say for our sales goal, we want to have, I don't know, we'll say this year we're going to shoot for 750,000. We also need to put in the number of months a season that you work. So if you're down south, you may work year round. If you're up north, you may only work, I don't know, 8-9 months out of the year, whatever it is. So we'll just say 9 months out of the year. So you can see it starts breaking things down. We start seeing that we need to bring in about $800 or $83,000 a month in sales. And then from there, we start getting into our cost of goods. So the cost of goods are basically things that are going to go out onto a job site. So, your material, your field labor, any subcontractors, if you have subcontractors, any equipment rentals, any miscellaneous types of stuff. But those are some of the main things that go in your cost of goods. And then from there is when we start getting into our overhead budget. Now, this is where a lot of people kind of get scared off, and they're not even sure what to do, what to have in there, whether they're putting everything in there. So in our overhead recovery spreadsheet here, we actually give you kind of a template so you can kind of go through and see, okay, advertising, computers, donations, downtime, labor, dues, subscriptions, insurance, all this types of stuff, equipment, office supplies, salaries, owner salaries. Now, one thing I do want to tell people on this is when you start considering your owner salary, you need to look at yourself. Now, are you completely out of the field and working 100% doing sales and the back end type of stuff? Then 100% of your salary will go into this, your salary portion of your overhead. However, if you are not, and you say you do 50-50, say you 50% of your times in the field, 50% of the times in the office, then you need to put 50% of your salary up in your field labor and 50% down in your salary down here. We start getting to some of your small tools like your shovels and rakes and those types of things. Telephones, uniforms, any overhead vehicles. Now, again, this is something similar to your salary. If your overhead vehicle, say you have a truck, but 50% of the time it's actually out pulling those trailers and doing things, then 50% is going to be in here and 50% is going to be in the equipment portion above. So I kind of want to just kind of hop in here and just show you some of these different things that you need to have in your overhead budget. So once you start putting all your numbers in and entering everything in here, you're going to have an idea what your net profit's going to be. So what we've been finding is when we're doing some of these here recently with some of our Academy members, they're actually showing a negative net profit down here. And this is the nice thing about planning. We start seeing that we're showing a negative net profit down here. We're like, what the hell's going on? I obviously can't do that again. So we can start looking at this, and we need to figure out it's either that maybe you need to increase your cost of your what your revenue is going to be for the year. So we need to increase it from $750 to $800,000. So that means you might have to increase your prices, or can you either cut out some people and become more productive, or can you reduce your material costs? Probably not some of those things. Or do we need to cut back on your overhead somewhere? And this is something that we kind of find and start looking at. Maybe you need to change your cell phone plans, or it's just different things we need to start looking at to kind of save money somewhere to be able to get that net profit where we need to be. Now, inside the Academy, we do have let me show this up on the screen. We do have like industry standards. So if you're not sure, like you're not even sure if you're even in the ballpark, you can go ahead and download this standard form to help you make sure you're staying on track, with your materials and your equipment and everything. So we have it all laid out inside the equipment, or I'm sorry, inside the Academy to help make it that much easier. Now I can go on for hours on this type of topic here, but I kind of wanted to give you just a kind of a glimpse of what should be an overhead budget when you're calculating this out. Now, again, why do we need to do this? Well, we recommend using an overhead recovery estimating system. So like we said, we make our budget here inside the Academy. Let me get back on the screen here. So like I said, we want to make this overhead budget, and then we want to kind of base our pricing on that budget throughout the rest of the season. So we want to make sure we're recovering all of that overhead, those costs that we talked about, the education, cell phones, all those things that are kind of not on the job site, those types of things that, rent, utilities, all those types of things you can't really charge directly to a job site. We want to make sure we're charging for it in a proper manner, and using some kind of overhead recovery estimating system will allow you to do that. Now we have all this inside the Academy to kind of help you go through. So we teach the single overhead recovery system, the dual overhead recovery, mowers overhead recovery, and we have all the systems, all the spreadsheets that kind of go along with this to help you get set up. Now, whether you're using some kind of main software program like LMN, Synced Up, all this types of thing, they do this already kind of for you. So it's still important to understand what goes inside these programs. So you have to make sure you put the proper information in. So proper information in, you'll get the proper information out. So if it's not correct going in, you're not going to get the correct information coming out. So it's very important to understand what goes inside your overhead budget. Now, if you have any questions and want to learn more about what we have in the Academy, or how to go about creating this overhead budget, feel free to make a comment below. I'll get you some information or help you out any way I can. All right, guys, don't forget to grab your free download of our Planning Your 2022 season. You can head over to milliondollarlandscaper.com/2022 guide. Grab your free download. It'll help you get you thinking about what you need to do for 2022 to have an awesome season. We want to make sure you guys continue to grow and continue to succeed in your landscape business. And like I said, if you're having problems, you're stuck, you didn't make as much money as you were last year, as you thought you should have made last year, let us know. We can probably help you figure this out. So, all right, gang, I hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.